Real Voices. Let's talk, you and me. What's going on in the community? Real people, real voices, real issues, real choices. What's happening? Where you living? Who's taking? Who's giving? Let's talk about it. Real people, real voices.
Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, Reverend David W. Green Sr.
Co-host Pastor Wayne Moore.
Dr. Moore, so good to see you in this new year.
It is new. It is brand new. We are both brand new.
We got some great things in store for 2023.
We sure do. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great opportunity for Real People, Real Voices. But being on location, that's phenomenal.
Being out in the community,
That's it.
That's what we love to do.
Yeah.
Here we are in the new year, already out in the community.
Already. That's a good sign. Let me give our sponsors as we do that.
Please.
The reason why we're out in the community is we got good sponsors.
That's true.
Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis is one of our sponsors. The Baptist Ministers Historical Alliance. Not only that, but we have Tomiko Associates Realty Group, His Place Eatery, Isles Modern Clothing and Shoes, Marion County Public Health Department, Northside Window and Gutter Cleaning, and then the Marion County Sheriff's Office, Rodney Steps Music Production, Lavinia and Summers Home of Funerals. Those are our loaded sponsors. We're grateful to have them.
We're certainly thankful to all of our sponsors, thankful for all of you that have joined us on tonight. I encourage you, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can go there and see all of our previous shows from 2022. So make sure you subscribe and join us. We've got a great show in store on today as we're coming live here at the Community Justice Complex, and we've got the Deputy Chief with us. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Let's talk about it. Real people, real voices. Real people, real voices.
Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. We're excited, Dr. Moore, to have with us today the Deputy Chief of the Marion County Sheriff's Office, Ms. Tanisha Creer.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, so glad to have you with us on this evening. Kind of start us off with so our audience can kind of get to know you a little bit. How long you been with the Marion County Sheriff's Office? Working in
Absolutely.
public safety.
I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 17 years. I started here right when I was 21 years old, so I grew up in the Sheriff's Office. I decided to come this route because I felt like I had something to offer.
Mm-hmm.
I never imagined that I would be in this position, though. I thought I would be able to offer it from a frontline perspective. However, there were other plans in store, and I'm just very appreciative that I am here today.
Ain't God all right?
He is. He is. Indeed.
So talk a little bit about, encourage others to be a part of this as an opportunity, a career move for you, because you've been here 17 years and you
Yes, sir.
started out at 21.
I started at 21. It's a great opportunity to be involved in the community. You get to know all of the individuals from the top to the other side of life, and you are able to be engaged. You're able to offer assistance when the time is needed. And then a lot of it is very fulfilling. A lot of times you show up to work thinking, I'm here to help, I'm here to make a difference. But it's very, very rewarding in doing so, because I tell people a lot that when people come into the facility, a lot of times it's probably one of the worst times
Of their life.
of their lives. But then after they've been here a while, you get to see them go through some programming. You get to see them be reunited with family that may not have interacted with them, during their challenging moments in life. And those are the rewarding times. And so if anyone is considering it, and you are looking not only to be a helpful individual or a helpful hand, but to be fulfilled as well, this is the absolute career move that they should make.
Excellent, excellent. Now, what are you responsible for now in your role as Deputy Chief?
right now as Deputy Chief for the Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Forrestal, in his kindness, has trusted me to be responsible for the jail division. I oversee the jail division. We have an excess of 350 employees in that division. That is deputy staff and civilian staff total. We oversee the security and make sure that processes go smoothly as possible within the facility for the inmate population. In our new facility where we are today, right? Coming live from the community.
That's right.
Exactly.
We have about 2,400 individuals in custody. And so we are responsible for the safety and security of those individuals, not just safety and security, but their medical concerns, mental health, any programming that they would need, reentry services that we're able to connect them with prior to being released from our facility. That is what I oversee.
Can you speak to what that programming looks like? What type of programs are now available?
So we offer a little over 137 programs in the facility. Now, those programs, it does seem like a lot. Those programs are not ran simultaneously, obviously. They're just offered throughout the year. There's several of them offered at a time. We have volunteers who come in. We have some programming specialists that are employed by the Sheriff's Office who are here around the clock to offer those programs. So we have parenting, we have anger management, we have moral recognition therapy that is offered, amongst other things, through our chaplain services. Our behavioral managers assist with housing prior to being released. They can assist with other needs that they may have prior to being released from our facility. Coupled with the programs, there are so many assets that we have inside the facility. We have suicide prevention advocates who are here to assist and kind of monitor the inmate population to see if there are anyone who is in need and who may be having some suicidal ideations. And so they can address that, and then they work and partner with our mental health professionals to address those needs as well. Yeah.
I worked on a program many years ago. I think it was an ORA program where it was a counseling. I did counseling once a week with a first offender. I probably did it for, I don't know, about 3 months with that one individual. Then I got into some other things. I think about 5 years ago, that very individual came up to me and said, "Thank you."
I'm sure.
5 years ago. Came up to me and said, "Thank you for taking time out on that Tuesday when I was incarcerated."
Yes.
And I asked her how she was doing. She was doing well. She's doing well now.
It's those moments.
Yeah,
That's the
shocked.
rewarding part,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was shocked. Never thought I would ever see her again. So I was at a church and she was there, and she came up and said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "No, refresh my memory. I was the one you counseled." And it really was rewarding, more so for her than me, to see that she had came through that period and became a productive citizen after that particular situation.
Yeah, absolutely. We have so many volunteers that come into our facility. At the end of the year, we had a appreciation brunch for our volunteers that come in and counsel and program with our inmate population. And to hear some of those stories that are similar to yours, Pastor Moore, was very enlightening and encouraging that it's reaching someone. And that's the goal. It's to continue to reach others, to keep recidivism down inside the facility, to make sure that individuals are able to return and be productive citizens.
Now, before we take a break, can you tell our listening audience, if somebody wants to be a volunteer, they have a program they'd like to bring, how do they do that? How's
They
that
can
happen?
contact us through contact MCSO at indy.gov, and then our PIO office will get that information to the appropriate section.
So you encourage people to...
I encourage it. We absolutely have to vet the program,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
honestly. And when we say volunteers, we appreciate those who are willing to come and volunteer, because, the needs of our inmate population are not always affordable by the Sheriff's Office. So we absolutely appreciate those who will volunteer their time and their services. But definitely contact MCSO, and they will get that request to the appropriate section.
Excellent, excellent. Did you have something, Pastor Moore, before we take a break?
I mean, the welfare of inmates now, you're very compassionate about inmates.
I am.
And I guess when we come back, we can talk about it, if we still have a moment here. Tell us how that was created in you to have the type of compassion you have for inmates.
So we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But first, we got to take a break. So we thank God for all of our sponsors. We need to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Let's talk about it. Real people, real voices. Real people, real voices.
Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. We're out in the community. Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I tell you, this is something we've been wanting to do, and we're doing it now. And hopefully we can do it a little bit more often than being in the studio. We love the studio, but I mean, being out in the community is phenomenal. Beautiful complex. It is what it is. It's beautiful.
And I'm happy to be here when we got the Deputy Chief of the Marion County Sheriff's Office, Miss Tanisha Creer.
Yes, sir.
And she's in charge of programming, really a lot of things that have to do with the jail day to day. And so we're happy to have you with us. Now, you've been talking about safety. What really drives your passion in that particular area?
Growing up, my father's a pastor. And growing up, we were able to see my dad really beyond the church walls actually minister in the community. It was nothing for us to come home and we have a new brother or sister because my father, my mother saw a need and they, wanted to assist in that manner. There are so many people, and it didn't matter race, sex, religion. It didn't matter. If someone came to my father or to my mother and they had a need and we could assist, we did that. And so growing up, I saw no barriers as far as helping others. If I can offer a hand, I'll do so. And I feel like, I wholeheartedly feel as though it was because of my upbringing. That's just what I saw. That's not something that my father only talked about. It's something that he displayed as an example for us.
What are some of the things that, with that type of heart, that you do for inmates? That you're within the framework and structure that you work in?
Right. So currently, a lot of the technology that the sheriff spoke about has a lot to do with communication and faster communication, right, direct. And so the inmates have a tablet that they can send messages out, whether it's to their family and friends who are not inside our facility, or if it's to the Marion County Sheriff's Office team members that they need to get in touch with. And so a individual messaged me and asked me to come see him. And so we went up to the housing unit and I pulled him out to see, what he had going on, what exactly he wanted to discuss. And he had an idea for a program that he had thought of himself and a couple of other inmates, and he asked for permission to begin working on it. And I said yes. Absolutely, I think it's great. But not only did I say yes, but I offered him some professional help as well through one of our behavioral managers working here. And they've been able to work side by side on writing this program and trying to get it implemented inside the facility. And because of that, his program has touched about 36 other inmates inside the facility. While that may seem like a small number in the realm of 2,000, I think it is a great start to a potential good thing within the facility simply because they thought of it. And had I said no, those other 35 individuals probably would not have been positively impacted.
How is it financially structured?
At this time, there is no financial impact. Right now, the only thing that we have to do is make sure that the individuals in the housing unit are those who agree to
do it.
participate in the program. And that way, they make sure that there aren't a lot of issues that come out of that housing unit. It's incentive-based as far as what they're allowed to do. Here recently, I think on our Sheriff's Office Facebook page, we brought rapper Patrick Houston to the facility, and he's a motivational speaker now, and that housing unit was able to participate in that program. And so there are some things that they're able to participate in just out of good behavior that some other individuals are not able to, and they thought of that. That was nothing that I had to do. All I had to do was say yes. And sometimes that's all anyone needs is someone to say yes.
And listen to them.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like with the technology available, the inmates themselves are more empowered
Yes.
to create these type of activities, enhance communication, to get to the right channels, right? Because
Yes.
I would assume in the past, the person couldn't have just said, hey, I want to meet with the deputy chief. There was probably a more stringent communication method.
Yes.
And so with the new technology, now it's like, okay, I can talk to the right person, whether it's the chaplain, whether it's the deputy chief, whether it's mental health.
yes.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Yes, they can reach out to all of those different sections and get a response, a direct response. It won't have to go through, the security team, then to medical, the security team, and then mental health. It goes directly to mental health, and they have access to access their messages.
So are you seeing a reduction of suicides?
We have this year.
Great.
We have this year, and we're happy about that. I'm ecstatic about it because while, contrary to public opinion, some may feel as though that's just something that happens in jails, but I take it personally every time because at that moment I just wish, something could have been done. And so, yes, we have seen a reduction this year.
Is there anything special you want to do for the inmates with the heart that you have to help the inmates?
I want to continue to be a positive resource for them. There are some things that we would like to add to the inmate population. I won't voice them specifically here because I still need approval to do so. Okay. But there are some things I would like to add to allow them a little more physical activity within the housing units and things of that nature. I want to continue to be resourceful as far as what they need when they enter back into the community. I want to continue to be able to respond to their needs quickly and efficiently while they are in our facility, which requires us to have more manpower. So again, I'll add a shameless plug there that we are hiring. We are hiring. I would just like to be able to continue the work that we are currently doing because I think that moving into this new facility and having access to new technology and more resources, we can be so impactful, but some of those things take more manpower. And so as long as we can continue to retain our employees, and we will be able to get to the needs of the inmate
Baptist Ministers
population.
Alliance wants to give you some things to continue to do some work. So you let us know what you need, and we're going to write you a $1,000 check.
Well, thank you
to do
so
some
much.
work here in the jail, okay?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right.
Just
Thank
tell me
you for
when you need
having
it,
me.
and we'll get it to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Don't cry. Don't do that.
I won't.
Okay. All right.
So thank you for sharing with us. And you keep up the great work. It's a work that's needed. I sense it's a calling, and you're working in your calling. So stay faithful to your calling.
Thank you
God's
so
not
much.
through with you yet.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be right back for our rundown.
Let's talk about it. Real people, real voices. Real people, real voices.
Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, Reverend David W. Green Sr.
And I'm his co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And guess who's with us? Mr. Curtis
M.
Baker.
You guys are something else. And you know what? I want to commend you guys for what you do in the community. It's needed. At a time like this, it's needed. And the fact that we're here at the Community Justice Complex is a great opportunity to minister to what you guys speak to all the time
Oh, yeah.
in your Sunday pulpits. I mean, what did Jesus say? Go see them.
Yeah.
Go
We here.
visit.
We
And
here.
we're here.
We here.
And I think it's important that the community knows not just the negative side of what we could look at, but also the positive things that come out of here. And I think Deputy Chief did a tremendous job of relaying some of the information that I believe a lot of us didn't know about.
Well, in terms of that programming piece,
Mm-hmm.
is so huge. I mean, you need people these people are going to be returning to our communities.
Right.
So you want to be able to provide services.
Right.
And hearing about behavioral services and other things. And the part about an inmate actually came up with a program.
Right.
That's what's going to work.
Yeah.
He knows what other people need in
Right.
his situation. And oftentimes those are the people that get ignored.
It's
They're
just-
like, oh,
yeah.
we're not taking
Great
that.
buy-in. I mean,
Yeah, they're not.
It's
We're
great
taking advice
buy-in,
from them.
and that's why we decided if we're going to do anything, we're going to help them. And I think when we look at that, Dr. Green, it's what we do every day
Right.
to be on the ground level of things. And it seems like people that are on the ground level don't get, how would you say, the real help that they really need. I mean, when
Right.
you talk about manpower, when you talk about taking this job and not really having, in my estimation, a living wage, it's phenomenal, man, to see people come in here and do what they do. And then 137 programs throughout the year that they're trying to get over to inmates to better themselves and help rehabilitate them to go back
Right.
into citizenry. It's phenomenal.
Can I
Get
mention
those sponsors in.
Yes, can I get the sponsors? The Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis Baptist Minister Alliance, Tomiko and Associates Realty Group, His Place Eatery, Al's Modern Clothing and Shoes, Marion County Public Health Department will be there soon, Northside Window and Gutter Cleaning, the Marion County Sheriff's Office, Rodney Stepp Music Production. Here's Jingo, we love it. Lavinia and Summers Home for Funerals are our sponsors for Real People, Real Voices.
Yeah.
And we thank them so much.
You know, Dr. Green, I tell you, it's just an honor to just be here today and to just listen at the Deputy Chief talk. Was moved with what she was saying tremendously about her compassion for security, and not only security, but for inmates as well.
She's walking in her calling,
Yeah,
Pastor.
I agree
mean,
with you.
she's passionate about her job, and that makes a difference when you're walking in your purpose. This is where you need to be, and you could sense that from her.
She
just in
serves
her-
both
her
sides of the
passion.
badge,
Yes.
both sides of the badge, and that's phenomenal.
Well, on behalf of your Real People, Real Voices team, we want to wish you all a good evening and see you next week.
Good evening, Aunt Jeanette.